All right, how's it going, guys? Sorry, we're a little bit late. Didn't realize we had crossed the barrier into a new time zone, and yeah, the hour kind of jumped on us. We thought we had like 45 minutes more time. Turns out now it's past 9 o'clock, so we missed the gun. But it's been a wild weekend. Basically, the last time you saw us was last week on the live stream. Tuesday, we woke up, went to the nursery, grabbed plants, a lot of plants for the show, and then we headed off back to the house. We caught all the shrimp, snails, isopods, bagged up all the moss and plants that we have at the house because we don't use just the nursery to get all of our plants. And basically packed up the car of all the dry goods, everything like that. And then Wednesday morning, we drove north, dropped the kids off with Lucas Brett's, and that's where we're currently on the way to right now. We got about 2 hours till we're at Lucas's house to pick the kids up and head back home. But they're playing with Wesley, having a good time. Hopefully they're in bed right now, but that's what they've been doing all weekend anyways. And after we dropped them off, we had a little bit more room in the car, but headed up to Texas, or over to Texas. And it's a 16-hour drive for us, 17 hours if like you stop to do anything, stretch, walk around, or anything like that. So we're gonna lose the light probably a couple times. I was not able to bring it up properly, or get it fixed before the stream started. And we got to Texas late Wednesday night, checked in the hotel, and then woke up Thursday and had some breakfast. It was pretty good, not that bad. The cracked egg, was that it? And then headed back over to the contest area so we could start setting up that. We set up 49 tanks for the shrimp contest, and that was fairly easy since we had a lot of help from Vibes, New Local Austin, Jeremy, John Oliver Guppies, and then Papa Shrimp. Can't forget Jerry. He helped us out a crap ton. And then eventually, that was just Thursday pretty much. Everybody who helped. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, no, I believe that's it. But then we also had to set up a couple of aquariums. I think Shelby had just gotten started on a few of the Tideline aquariums that she did. So basically didn't have really any time to do anything on Thursday. Friday, we started the show, and Shelby had to touch back up on her Tideline aquariums. She did 5 in total. None of them had water, but
6.
there's 6 of them?
In Tidelines.
I thought there was only 5, but they were all bone dry, no water in them, and they still looked great. Some of them she had to use fake plants for the first time, but she really made it look natural. The aquariums came out fantastic. There is some manzanita wood in the back. I don't think you can see it, but yeah, that's what Shelby got out of that. So the car is properly scaped on the ride home. And then she also had 4 aquariums that she scaped for Aquashella. And then she also had oh no, got an alarm, Shelby. Got to turn off all the lights at the house, but I'll just leave those on until we get home. And we had to do our aquascape tanks for the little scape contest. Friday, Shelby spent all of her creativity on the other 9 aquariums that she had going on. I swear it was 5 and 4. Now I'm working in a 6th one. It's not that I'm
2
bad in
big
math.
ones, 4 small ones at the one booth, and then a big one and 3 small ones at the other.
All right. But she set up a lot of aquariums, and basically when she got back to the contest to set up for Fluval, she started out, but she wasn't liking anything that she had laid out that day. We went out to dinner and got some rest because Saturday was opening day for the big show, and basically we started scaping right away. Got the judges ready. I had to judge one category because Papa Shrimp, he judged 6 categories, but he entered in one of the categories. So I jumped in, took over for that one category to make sure that was all fair, and he did the rest. But we started scaping for the fluval contest around 9:30, and Shelby had basically ripped out all of her scape, started all over from scratch, and we pretty much spent the entire day scaping. Tim, Crypt Keeper, Rob, and Ray, they totally killed it at our table. We did better on the one day on Saturday than we have at any other 2 days at any other show we've ever done. So we really killed it. Well, they killed it. We didn't really do too much other than run back and forth and grab waters from the table. So I can't thank them enough. It's been a great weekend, and they made it so that way we had no stress, nothing to really worry about. Vibes in New Local Austin brought us breakfast, biscuits, and gravy, both on Friday and Saturday. They do this pretty much every single year. There's a local place that New Local Austin just absolutely loves. So he goes and gets his food and then orders extra for us at the show that just we don't have the time to go out, and saves us some money from having to Uber it. So it was really nice gesture. And then for lunch, I'm already spacing. Wasn't that dinner? That was the lettuce wraps for dinner. I swear. We had something different for
We got us dinner.
Oh, that's right. All right. So Michelle and John Morgan got us barbecue plates from one of their local barbecue places for lunch. And yeah, that was delicious. I've gotten barely any sleep, so a lot of this stuff's getting mixed up. But yeah, I remember now. Shelby got a big old loaded big potato with pulled pork on it, and I had some really good brisket. So that really came in clutch. And then Rob and Ray, they brought us dinner that night. So I love lettuce wraps. I said what, right? What am I saying?
Right.
Oh, I don't know why I'm saying that. Messing up everything. But yeah, lettuce wraps are one of my favorite meals. So
I got orange chicken, and it was the best orange chicken I've ever had. It actually tastes like an orange, and there was orange slices on it. We don't have good Chinese where we're from. So when Grant told me that they were going to get Chinese, I was like, no, that sounds awful. Whatever. Food is food. I'm like, and I ate it. It was like the best Chinese food. They're really good at picking out food, that's for sure.
So we were properly taken care of. Well, more than properly. We were spoiled pretty much.
Yeah. Like royalty.
Yeah, it was really nice. We had other people offer us food, and it was really a great weekend. Tim came through with a pretzel on Sunday for Shelby. We were about to Uber eat a bunch of barbecue, but it was just too late, and we were about to go out to dinner afterwards. So, all right, I can't really read chat, but I see Foxy Fishes with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Foxy. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And yeah, we really appreciate all of you guys watching. It's not our normal stream, and still you guys are hanging out with us on the drive home. As recommended, Shelby's doing the driving. We'll see how that goes, but so far she's not looking at the camera, I guess. If she is, I haven't seen it. So, but Saturday we finished our scapes. They had to be done by 6 o'clock. I pretty much spent most of the day doing a water change. I had all my hardscape done on Friday, and then basically they opened up plants at 9:30. I grabbed the ones that I wanted. I kind of used all of the baby tiers, but I kind of like looked around what other people were grabbing, and I think it was safe for me to grab as much as I did. And I didn't grab it all at once. I only grabbed a couple at a time until I filled it all out. So if anybody else needed baby tears, they had ample time to grab it. But it was essential, I think, for my scape. And if I would have used Monte Carlo, it would have looked okay, but I would have had to do a lot of trimming. It would have taken a lot more work. But because I used baby tears, I was able to just pretty much fill up the aquarium and then drain it and fill it up at the same time. And I just had to manage it to make sure I didn't flood or suck the filter dry, because I was running the filter at the same time to get all the particulates out. I didn't wash any of the Dragonstone. Usually we spend quite some time washing the Dragonstone, but because I didn't use any wood, it was like one of the most clear tanks the next day still. So that whole day that I spent doing the water change, I think paid off. Shelby, she painted the background for her tank, for the contest tank. This is her first time doing that. It's the first time anybody's really done that. Ryan said it best, where it's probably going to change a lot of things moving forward, giving people a different kind of perspective and ideas on, how to change up their scape. She had a beautiful aquascape, but when you slap that background on, she painted, some really like light pinkish clouds with a blue sky, and it really like contrasted really well with the red rock that she used, the Firestone from Carib Sea in the tank, with some darker woods. It really came together nicely. I think she was really upset because she wasn't getting a lot of compliments on her tank until she put the background on, and then everybody was really oohing and ahhing, and she was feeling really good about it. So she wasted all the creativity on Friday, but a little bit of sleep, maybe some ice cream helped out, and yeah, we got it all together on Saturday, or she got it all together on Saturday. I didn't do anything. It's both solo. I took first place. She took second place. She took a lot of the ribbons. She even stole best hardscape from me. It was on my tank, but somehow she walked away with the award on stage. I got best use of depth, which I'll take it. I worked pretty hard on the little back scene of my aquascape. But she also got like most creative, most inspiring, most colorful. Yeah, and then her scape that she did for Aquashella got best freshwater display, and there really wasn't a lot of aquascapes done throughout the show. Owasi wasn't there. There was a couple of other people that weren't there from Fluval, so they didn't really do a lot of aquascape tanks. But Charles had put together a bunch of tanks with. Oh man, I can't believe I'm. No, with his neighbor. I can't believe I'm missing his name, but I didn't get to hang out with him in Daytona, so I really got to know Charles. I didn't get to meet his neighbor, his teammate that he skated with and won in Dallas last year. But the two of them are great to hang out with. Charles is just a life of energy at the contest, so much positive energy. I really love him around and hanging out around the contest. Brings a lot of positive energy to the contest. Doesn't make it as competitive as some might think it is, but it was a lot of fun. I'd say the Aquascape contest was the highlight of my weekend. Besides the people, there's tons and tons of people in the Dallas area that we know. Chris George was at the event. Got to hang out with him a lot. Got to hang out with Harley, and of course Tim, Cherie, and Rob, and New Look Awesome and Vibes. They were constantly with us at the show, so really enjoy hanging out with all of them. And then we got to meet a couple new faces at the Aquascape contest. Walked around the show. I don't think I personally got anything. We did grab some plushies for the kids. Shelby got some 3D printed stuff for the kids as well, and a little glass shrimp figurine that's really cool. What else did you get? A t-shirt with a pyramid.
That's it.
That's it.
I didn't really get anything. I decided the only thing I usually get from Aquashella is art, but I already have so many, and I've made it a new rule that I will not get any more artwork unless I absolutely need it. But I try not to look at all until I get all the artwork that I have hung up, because there's a lot. I think I have like at least 15 different artworks that haven't got picture frames and put up in the house. So.
And then we had the scape off on Saturday also. It was supposed to be Shelby and Charles, but Charles had too much going on. They asked me to do it last minute, and I was like, all right, if nobody else will go against Shelby, I guess I have to do it. And I thought for sure Shelby was going to slaughter me, but it was close. It was very close. And I guess I came out on top just a wee bit. Some would say they were voting for me, so I would do all the driving on the way home. No matter what, we were still going to trade on and off. That was just a joke. But Peter said it on stage, and I think people purposely voted for me, so I would have to do all the driving. But Shelby's doing all of it, right? I was driving, and then we realized the time change, and I had to take the first exit and whip something up here so we could do the live stream and have a light. These just don't cut it when it comes to enough light for the video. We were dark in a cave, basically. But, hey, you got anything else to talk about the show? I've been doing a lot of talking so far.
No.
No, nothing at all? So, we also got our trophies, though, from last year and this year. Shelby won the creators contest last year, so they had the trophy there waiting on the stage for her. And then I won the scape off contest last year against Jen and got that award also. So we came home with a bunch of awards this time. I think Shelby's the real winner with all the plaques that she got from the aquascaping contest. She won way more awards with that and the best freshwater display. I think Shelby all around just absolutely dominated overall the entire show. The shrimp contest, Chu Lee, however, was the ultimate dominator for that one. He won People's Choice. He won Best of Show. And, of course, he won the contest with his Category 7 boas, getting first place in there also. So congrats, but there was a lot of locals that entered the contest for the first time. A bunch of them walked home with awards. Overall is a great show. Dymax was the sponsor. We had the Dymax substrate. It's super clean, super clear. Really allows the shrimp to pop and contrast really well with them. We ran the Dymax filters. I'm happy to say that we had 0 deaths at the show. There was 1 DOA that was sent into the contest. So hopefully there isn't any deaths as we're shipping the shrimp back. But we've never actually had 0 deaths in the contest before. So really proud of that. It just means that what we're doing is working. We've got a basically, a step-by-step regimen now on how the contest gets set up, how it gets torn down. We've got an extremely great team of help. Michelle and John Morgan, as well as Vibes and Mike Newlock-Loxton and Jerry. Can't forget Mike Esposito to all help us tear down, put the contest up. And then all the staff from Aquashella. They really do a good job at making sure the shrimp contest gets taken care of, gets put away properly. We've never had a broken tank. We've never had to worry about anything like that whatsoever. So take over.
Yeah, this was interesting. I don't know how I'm going to top it for the next Aquashella, because that was, in total, I did 12 aquascapes. One was like a little bit cheating because it was a scape off between me and Grant, and that only took us 15 minutes, if that. I think we did it in like 9. and then we had to act like we were Russian.
All right, so we got a debate here. You think you only did 12 aquascapes? We got one for Carib Sea, one for Fluval Main Stage.
I don't count Carib Sea because it was already done. I just needed to fill it up. I did have to replant some of it and add some because the light was not working at home very well. But that wasn't like, it didn't take long. That was just like plop and drop and ready to go. But yeah, so I guess technically it would be 13 altogether. 13 aquascapes at the show. But I set up 12 physically at the show, which is usually unheard of. But it was very interesting because it was Planet Aquarium's booth, and they sell Tideline aquariums, and they didn't have anyone in their staff that could get it done, and then they never have a freshwater aquascaper. So I saw the materials and I was like, oh, this is really cool because it's materials I haven't worked with before. And I was like, oh, wait, am I supposed to use the fake plants? And they're like, yeah, that's what we sell. And I was like, well, that's different. That's interesting. I guess that's going to be fun. My mom used to be a florist, so I felt like it was just like taking something from her growing up and being able to do something. It was really neat. One of the tanks was gigantic. I made that a cichlid tank. I wanted to take it home. I will be posting these like every other day. It'll probably take like 2 weeks to get these out, all of them, but they will come out. And then I had like another big tank, and then Aquashella and Pisces, we worked together. Pisces provided all the scaping materials for me, and I did natural, oh my goodness, environmental aquariums.
Sorry.
Thank you. They have a killer booth at these shows. And if you ever see me on the live streams wear the alien t-shirt, that's their shirt. But they were super happy to get me to Aquascape. When I had previously planned to do this, I just told Pisces, just bring me a bunch of different stuff. I like working with different things, and it's fun to try to put it all together at the show. And they're like, oh, that's so great. And it makes it easier on them too, so they don't have to like worry about getting the right products. And we got there, and it was 4 tanks. I didn't know how many tanks. I knew it was going to be 4, but I didn't know how big the one was going to be. It was like a 60 gallon. Yeah, and then a like 20 gallon, or 18, and then 2 small like nano tanks. And I brought over the supplies, and I started working on those on Friday night, but didn't even really get to do it till, Friday morning is when I started finishing them up. And that one was really fun. I did not get the memo that they were going to be filled with water, and it's a little bit different from doing a dry scape to a one that you fill with water, because you have to make sure everything's secure, especially if you do wood. So it was a little bit more work, but it was overall very rewarding because it did make it look 100 times better than an empty tank does. And they raffled them all off. There's like a video on Instagram going around of those ones at that booth of the Aquashella tanks, Pisces rock. And there was 2 rocks in particular that were newer to me, which were really cool. I was super happy to work with the zebra rock, and I plan on doing another scape when I get a chance of it. But it was very interesting to work with that rock. And then the other one, it's just red rock. It's just real smooth and real strange, but not something you typically use in an aquascape because they're very round and smooth. So very hard to like stack or do anything with. But that was fun to get it all done. And then I was supposed to have on Friday night, I think it ended up being like 4 or 5 hours that everyone had to aquascape that night. And I had already like exhausted myself. They had already started like a full, probably an hour and a half, and I got done with my tanks at the booth and came back over. And I was mentally drained by then. And I was like, kept trying to do it. I'm like, I just got to get some of this done so that I'm like not panicking tomorrow. Kept trying. I'd sit down, I'd look at it, I get flustered. I'm like, this is not working. I don't know what to do. I really want to do this. This is my choice of rock. And it's also very hard to skate with because it's very round, very heavy, and it's very hard to break. It's not a very easy rock. And that's the new Firestone for Carib Sea. But it is absolutely breathtaking to look at in a tank. Like, it is so different from everything else. It just really catches your eye. And I was like, I refused to give up on it when I had to do it. Like, no one else in the competition was using that rock. They were too afraid to use it because it is difficult. And I was like, I have to do it. And I'm sitting there. Grandma's like, you just need to relax. You need to breathe. And I'm like, I know, but I got to get it done because it's a time restraint. You don't have much time to. Those tanks are huge, and you got to fill them up, or you're not going to place. And so I decided to sit down. I ate food that Rob and Cherie brought us, and I was like full, and I felt a little better. And I was like, you know what? I do need some sleep because this is not working. So I just like left it, Grandscaped for like another hour while I kind of just sat there. And I found out the wood I was trying to use. It was like this thorn bush, which is super strange. Definitely hurts. And decided to do away with that after I found spiderwood in the bin that was really dark. There was like not a good selection of spiderwood, and it was all mixed at the bottom. So I found like 10 pieces of really dark spiderwood, real small ones and a few big ones. And I was like, okay, now I know what to do tomorrow if I get some sleep. So then we went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and I just took a real deep breath before I started. And I was like, gotta get it done. And I was able to get it done in perfect timing and do a small water change too after fixing a couple mistakes. Back to you.
I just got to say how proud of Shelby I am because she did so many aquariums at the show, and they weren't just slapped together. Like, when she agreed to do all the aquariums, they thought that, like, Shelby was just going to throw a bunch of rocks and stone in the tanks and be done, but each one was pretty much scaped like Shelby did her best for one of the Aquarium Beautiful contests for the Florida State Fair or something like that. I only say that because some of them were fake plants, and we don't usually use that. That's like the only contest I can think of where we would use some of the materials that Shelby had used. So
my favorite tank that was the easiest tank in the entire show was a little tiny cube. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I was planning each one, trying to make sure that they were all different because you want to showcase as much product as you can. So I was like, I use different plants in each one of them. There's not a one repeat plant. There was not one stone repeated. And then I rotated the type of substrate so that they weren't next to each other. But in the middle was the tiniest one that I saved for last. And they have this fake plant that looks like a wabi kuso. It's just like a big giant moss ball kind of thing, but it's a plant instead of a moss ball. And it was the perfect size of the tank. So I just put river pebbles and that in the tank, and I was like, that's my Wusa tank. You just put a beta in there and it's golden. And everyone wants something like that on their desk at work. They'll never have to worry about the plant dying. They never have to worry about it like anything. You just water change and put the water back in, a perfect beta tank. Literally ideal. And people came up to me and said that they liked that tank, even though it's the most simple tank in the entire show.
But yeah, I can't say how proud because they are all really, really nice. And I go over to the one booth and she's escaping with fake plants. I'm like, what are you doing? So yeah, she stepped up to the plate and helped out John and had some fun with it. And they came out looking really, really good. We got to go out to eat at this one restaurant It was more like a venue. They had a concert in the back. It was like a little Led Zeppelin tribute band, and we had a third floor reservation for all of Aquashella. There was like some play money gambling going on, and a downstairs there was a plethora of restaurants. It was kind of like a bunch of food trucks that were all in the same area, but instead of them being in trucks, they actually had fully functional kitchens and counters for their sales and stuff like that. But it was like really good foods, from Wagyu burgers to, we had tacos, of course. Florida, we don't get good Mexican food. So being in Texas, so close to Mexico, we got to eat as much as we can while we're there. So we got tacos. Of course, there was an ice cream restaurant. That's not the right word. Ice cream creamery in the place as well. So we got ice cream. The black raspberry wasn't that good. It was in the low sevens, maybe even a 6.9. The banana, though, that was good. That was like an 8.2, but not really my choice of flavor with the banana. But they also wouldn't do me on 3 scoops. I'm a 3 scoop at least kind of guy. And then if you're paying $4 for an extra scoop, you know dang right I'm going to pay the $2.25 to get the extra scoop. So I ended up with 4 scoops of ice cream, so I could have 2 scoops of each flavor, and got to sample that, and ended up with like a really nice mango margarita. So I decided to have a couple of drinks with Tim, and that was a really nice night. And then the last night we all went with Vibes, Harley, New Local Austin, Tim, to some part of Dallas, and also met Harley's neighbor Jeremy and one of their friends Chris, and we basically all went to go have tacos. It was a real authentic Mexican taco joint, really delicious tacos. I loved them. Shelby liked the pineapple more than the meat on the tacos, but I was a huge fan of it. Shelby kind of gets the jitters or the creeps on some types of meats. I'm a pretty hardcore carnivore, so it doesn't bother me. And it was delicious. Had ranchada for the first time. I've had coquito, which is like similar Puerto Rican drink, but not that similar. But never had ranchada before, so thank you, Harley.
Horchata.
What?
It's horchata.
Horchata?
Horchata.
I don't know what it was. All right, so
You can tell he's never drinking.
yeah, but it was good. It was a little cinnamony that I didn't really want, but it was cool. And then, of course, Harley goes, "So are we getting ice cream?" I'm like, "Yes, we're getting ice cream," but it was like 9:45 on a Sunday, and like every place closes at 10 within driving distance. That was close by, but there was a place 14 minutes away that was open until 11, and we ended up going there. We parked, and then wouldn't you know, across the street there was another ice cream location also open that wasn't advertised on Google. So then we were in quite the conundrum, and I didn't know which one to go to. But Harley was like, "Dude, this one's got a 4.9 rating, and they have donut ice cream sandwiches." So I was like, "All right, I'll probably get a donut ice cream sandwich and then check out the flavors across the street. I might get some more." Well, ate the donut ice cream sandwich, really good. Strawberry cheesecake ice cream. That ice cream itself was probably like a 7.9. The donut, though, with it, the combination, definitely like an 8.6. It was great. I highly recommend trying a warm glazed donut ice cream sandwich. It was a little bit better than the waffle Klondike bar, I'm not gonna lie. But then across the street had some incredible flavors. They had a non-dairy lemon bar, and because they had so many incredible flavors, I ended up getting the sampler, which is 4 scoops of ice cream. So the lemon bar was the non-dairy one. I love my lemon flavors. It was delicious, but still not an ice cream, so it only gets a 6.8 rating. But then I had this like mandarin kiwi. Shelby tried it. She absolutely hated it. I wasn't a big fan. I more like just ate it because it was like ice cream, and I don't waste that at all. So that was like a 5.9 on flavor. It just it is too much for us. But there was also blueberry lemon, and that was the best one by far. That was like a 9.2. I would go back and eat that one if we go back to Dallas next year for sure. And then I also got this other one. I can't for the life of me remember all of the flavors, but it was like a cosmic berry, and it was delicious. It was super tangy, super sweet, and delicious. Now that I'm talking about this, we gotta go to Tippecanoe like tomorrow. I'm sorry. Like, I'll go to Papa Clyde's or somewhere else for you, but I gotta get some blackberry ice cream from Tippecanoe tomorrow. I'm jonesing for it. I see Steven's talking. I feel like Grant just reads on it. I lost it. Dang it. All right, hold on. 8-year-old's essay about the ideal perfect day, and then go lives it. That's my son, but yeah. As long as there's ice cream in the day, it's great. But yeah, 2 ice cream stores to wrap up Dallas, hanging out with a great group of friends. We then packed it back up. Rob and Ray were just, did I say it wrong again?
Yes.
Reed, right?
Yes.
I don't know why I keep saying Ray. All right, Rob and Reed, they needed a break. They didn't come out with us. But when we went back to the hotel, they were there hanging out.
No, they
Also,
got some
Jay Oliver.
awesome food without.
Well, they Grubhubbed it. They weren't trying to go out and relax. We still had a bunch of stuff to tear down at the show, so they helped us enough. I told them, you guys go take a break. You've earned it, and yeah, it was a really good time. I don't really have a way of like reading chat, going through and answering questions tonight. I'm sorry. It's just not one of those nights.
Headlight.
No, we don't have that there. And I'm not going to search through that for 15 minutes. That'll be like the raffle tickets at the end of the shrimp contest. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head to talk about. I just can't thank everybody enough, you guys. The fact that I had somebody else able to help us run the booth and bring us food and everything. I feel like I brought home the W, and I owe a big part of it to all of you guys. So the tank sold for like $615, if anybody was wondering about that. That all went to charity, so that's awesome. The next contest, or Aquashella, is going to be in August in Chicago. I don't think Shelby is going to enter the Aquascape contest, but I think I might do a hardscape with Shelby. She just kind of helps me direct it, and then I plant it all, and then she paints the background. That way we don't do 2 tanks, and we can kind of run back and forth. And it's not be as chaotic, because we weren't really that focused on the shrimp contest, because there's an international one in 2 weeks. Shelby's got 2 groups entered in it. I've got like 10 more than that. And then because of that contest, other people were also entering their shrimp into that. That contest is $40 per entry. So it is a little bit expensive, but it's higher risk, more reward in the fact that if you beat the international people, it is a better win. But the American Shrimp Contest is to get people ready for the international contest. So after this next contest in 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of people that'll have a lot of time to get their stuff ready for Chicago. And instead of just barely 50 aquariums, I'm hoping to have over 70. The Chicago area has a really great local aquarium club, and they also have their own shrimp, the Chicago Ornamental Shrimp Society, COS. So hoping that we get a lot more local people out of Chicago. Looks like Dimax will be sponsoring again. We got Craig's. Oh man, Craig's Catfish as a new member. Please make sure you email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com and send us your email. We'll send us your address, and we'll send you a code for 10% off, as well as our members only stickers. What else you got about Chicago? Huh?
I don't have anything else about Chicago.
Oh, what were you gonna say then?
I just asked why you stopped talking all of a sudden.
I need water. I need you to fill in for me sometimes, Shelby.
It's okay. You can de-silence for a second. They can understand that you need water because you talk a lot.
I don't talk that much.
You talk a lot.
No.
You ask a single person at the show, and I bet you every single person would say you talk a lot.
And then I also found out that I guess I have this really mean face all the time at the shows. And I'm just concentrated. I'm laser focused.
You just wanted to be
getting
so
stuff
bad.
done.
That's what it was.
But Will comes up to me and he's great. Would it kill you to smile? And I'm just like, oh, do I look that mad? Like, I'm not even upset, like, at the littlest bit. And I got to learn how to smile. That's going to be my goal for the next show. Smiling.
My favorite part of the show was the fact that I was next to Grant. We were scaping next to each other. And I about had it within probably an hour of the show, and I asked him to move his tank. Like, I wanted him to move it the other side away from me, because it was just so nice that people just stopped and stared, and these people were just like in love with his tank, and then they look at mine and they would just look at it and then just keep walking. And I was like, so hurt. I'm like, you're discouraging me so much. One person, only one person, is so funny, realized that it was a contest after their significant other was like, wow, this tank's going to win. I don't think anyone else, this is awesome. And the person goes, it's a contest. They're all right here. And I'm like tearing up on the side. It was so funny, though. It was great. You know how many kids? I watched this little girl. It is so great to see the kids at the show interested in the shrimp contest and like how cute they are. And then when they come to aquascaping, they're like, wow, this is crazy. It's just so unbelievable to them. And this one girl was like almost professional.
Right. Listen.
Your phone is on the thing, so I can't hear it.
Okay.
So
I thought you'd be paying attention, though.
Last I looked, we had 100 miles on this road.
Okay.
That went by fast.
We almost missed our turn. Safe. We're good.
Slid in there last minute.
I knew the phone was going to fall, though. This is the first big turn we've had to take during the entire live stream. So, but, oh, no. We lost the camera, too. All right. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So, Jeff Kane just unlocked the new.
Did you get things right, Grant?
Listen.
Come on. I only had it fall
freaking
like
driving, you know.
I'm literally not. I'm just going straight. I haven't moved. There's not been one pothole.
Well.
Let me finish my. Jeff Kane.
Oh, you can finish first. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Subscribers are important.
Jeff Kane just unlocked a new achievement. He is at 24 months.
Oh.
Continuous membership support. You weren't at the show, Jeff Kane, but I want to give you a big shout out to you guys. If you don't know Jeff Kane, he's in a lot of channels. He supports a lot of people. So I really appreciate you hanging in there with us. it is time. You got to send us that email when you hit the 24 months to let us know you've unlocked the new year, and we're going to have another print for you. It is all exclusive. I asked for it. We might get it to you a little bit late, but it is in the works, hopefully. I do know Sam is doing a bunch of travels. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually get some pieces done by a couple of different people. So when you hit 36 months and 48 months, they'll be ready for you. I promise, Jeff. All right, back to you and your story, show.
But it was really cute. She seemed so professional. She had to only be like 8 or 9 years old. And she just loved Grant's tank. I found her just standing behind him several times, just like she almost got elbowed a couple times on Grant, because you don't see a little 9-year-old just like 1 foot behind you. But she went over with her parents when we weren't there, and I was watching her. I was filling up a bucket. Describe the scape and how awesome his path was, and the depth, and how nice it was, and just it was so cool. Then she goes to mine and she's like, and this one's pretty, and then walks away with her parents. And I mean, she went into detail about how nice Grant's was, but I loved it. She came back over several times, and there's like a couple other young little boys that were watching and just absolutely loved it. Like it's nice to see them, because you hope that one day they'll be future aquascapers or fish keepers and things like that. So you know the hobby will continue, because there's always waves of different things in the hobby, whether it's, keeping certain fish or doing aquascaping or fake plants, or back to, kind of not keeping anything in the tank and just the fish. It's all different. So it's nice to see people that young very interested, because sometimes you see the parents that are super interested and their kids are just being dragged along. They don't want anything to do with something like that. And it's nice to see that there's a lot of people that still prefer natural stuff, even over all the cool video games that are out now.
So Thomas Dobbins, who, by the way, got second place in the
Congratulations.
Neo category, his first time entering, he was super nervous, and basically he is got the best comment of the night. It said, "Is Grant sleeping in the greenhouse when you guys get home?" So
No.
he had messaged me if I was sleeping on the couch beforehand, and I messaged, probably the greenhouse, because I think I beat her twice. So
Hey, I got enough rewards, and I got very good compliments from people that are very good aquascapers, really, renowned in the hobby. So it was nice to see it. Even if I didn't win, I did get a lot of compliments from people that enjoy aquascaping, that know it. And my other tank got an award, and I got several different awards. That is blinding.
I'm sorry, Zen, if I missed yours. It's too hard for me to control this little tiny screen on this phone, let alone. Oh no. Have we lost all contact with the stream?
No, it's just
okay. We're good. We're good. Sorry, Shelby's driving over there.
I literally just turned the corner. You should tell the phone.
I can't hold everything and scroll and try to find Zen's thing. I feel so bad.
Now let's go back to the video I did, and now you guys can understand why I'm the one who controls that and he drives.
Listen, Shelby.
You struggle. Or are you just going straight right now?
Boom, I found it, Zen. So, Zen got the 24-month first. I gave Jeff the shout out, but everything I said about Jeff, Zen is also a huge supporter to the Fish Fam. Unlike this phone being cropped up, no support. But
not just your phone that's doing that, not mine.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Zen. Really appreciate you guys' support. I can't believe it's been 24 months.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I'm just going right back down. All right. Yeah, I saw it now, Zen. Okay, sorry. And then got Foxy. She's at 5 months.
Thank you so much.
And then we have a $2 super chat from Peplin. Don't forget Zen's membership milestone. I got it. I went back up. And then we got 4 months. You guys have me beat with only 4 months, but still, like, it's all good. The support, it means a lot to us, guys. Before I get back in the chat, I'm gonna try and scroll up, but I got one more story I want to say. I was in the middle of aquascaping on Saturday, and there's one piece where I used a little bit too much super glue to get my peak on the mountain in the front glued together, and I needed to cover up the super glue. And I found one little piece of dragon stone that I could kind of fit in that spot, and it looked natural, and I didn't want to use a lot of glue, so I held the piece in place. I used a little dab of glue, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to hold this here until it's done. And I'm pretty sure I was holding it for like 5 minutes already, and I tried to take my finger away, and it just still, it didn't have any hold at all. So I was like, all right, I got to get this activator, which we made some homemade activator with water and baking soda. And it was in one of the spray bottles, and it just happened to be like 6 feet away from me, and I couldn't find anybody that I knew that was around to help me out. But there was a kid watching me aquascape, so I was like, hey buddy, can you do me a favor? Can you hand me the bottle? And he grabbed me the bottle, handed it to me. I sprayed the rock, bam, the activator worked, held in spot. And I looked at the kid and I was like, hey man, thank you. If I win, you get the assist. So I won. He got the assist, but it gets better than that. He happened to be one of our subscribers. Him and his dad have been in chat. I'm horrible with names. I want to say it's Ben and Zane, but I think that's wrong. But yeah, you guys really made my day. I'm glad that it ended up being him that helped me out with the tank. So he does get the assist. I wish he was there again on Sunday. I was going to take a picture with him in the award because, yeah, he definitely earned it. I didn't have any patience left in me, and he saved me in the contest so I could put together. And I really didn't have any pieces of stone that stuck out in the end that bothered me. That was the final piece to the puzzle. So thank you so much. If you are in chat, if you could remind me of your names, or if I got them right, I'll give myself a huge pat on the back.
He also has really bad hearing problems, so it's not just like remembering the names, it's the hearing on top of it. That's PTSD of getting pulled over.
Scotty's like, he's really struggling. My eyesight's bad. I don't have glasses. I use my hand in front of the light. It's all just very hard to read. I was only trying to do an hour live stream tonight, so we got 7 more minutes. I love your ratings. You're the Dave Portnoy of the ice cream world. That's Crypt Keeper. All right, I'm giving up on trying to catch up on chat. I'm going all the way down to there was of course, a $2 from Christy S. I'm so sorry. I missed the T. I'm late, fell asleep. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the $2 super chat.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter if you're late, you're here. We appreciate it. I'm trying to get caught up in chat. I think I'm at the bottom. There's a ton of credible people there. I know I'm like, we met Phantom Aquatics or Fathom? Fathom Aquatics. See, I'm horrible with names even when I can read the logo. There's so much to take on and remember. What's up?
Did I meet?
They handed us the sticker, and they were with
I don't think
Vibes,
I was there.
and they're hanging out the first night when we were there Thursday night.
I'm very unaware sometimes. But we did meet JL Aquatics. They had a booth right next to Sam.
Well, I've met him in the past. You met him for the first time.
I probably met him in the past. I'm really bad with remember. There's so much that goes on at these shows. I'm lucky to remember anything. I'm super. When I talk to other people and we're making business deals for the rest of the year, like I've seen and noticed how smart they are that they keep a notebook in their phone and they literally type it all out, like bulletin by bulletin. This guy had like 30 things that he was like gonna do, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's a smart idea. So then you don't forget, because it's a lot. It's just so much that goes on during the day that it's hard to remember everything that happened. And I mean, there's small little things that were like amazing that you just forget. And we'll talk about them another time. But
I'm kind of upset. Tim just dropped a $10 super chat. Tim,
how dare you?
There's like 4 people that aren't allowed to donate money on this channel. Dr. Anthony, number 1. You're like number 2 with Rob and Cherie. Like, you guys help us out way too much. You should not be donating to the channel. This is unacceptable. This is strike number 1. You got to get
Thank
those
you
likes
so
up there. Only 29. It's because we're not in front of any tanks. The car wasn't scaped good enough. You can't even see the manzanita wood in the back.
No.
Maybe if we had better lighting.
It's so beautiful. It's so hard to find manzanita wood where we are. I know, like up north, you guys can get it by like the truckload, but in Florida, you can't really get it unless you go to like a reptile show, and then it's like super expensive still. It's usually for birds, so and we don't go to them as much as we used to.
So we got 3 more minutes. I'm pretty much just going to wrap this up. Next week, we will have a normal live stream. I'm not exactly sure what the topic will be, so we will take recommendations like we always do down in the chat. If anybody has a live stream topic that you think we should cover, go ahead and comment down below, and if we pick it, we'll get you a free Sam Scales print. While I was talking, I remembered exactly what we were gonna do. We already talked about what the next live stream is gonna be, and it's gonna be our biggest fails. And I'm gonna talk a lot of crap about Layla putting a quesadilla in the tank, but there will be other things too. So, that's gonna be next week. It's gonna be our biggest fails because, keeping shrimp and stuff like that, you'd probably think that there's a lot of issues and stuff that happens, but we don't have that many stories. But the couple stories we learned from, and we can pass that down to you guys. So you can't see the man's wood in the back. What kind of show did you go to? That's Jeff Payne, my guy. Do y'all have a bunch of aqua soil from the show you don't want? I need enough for a 20-gallon. It all depends once Shelby's fish room is done. I don't know how much aqua soil we have. We only brought home 2 bags from the fluval contest. It was only the 2 bags that we didn't use. My usual fluval guy that's in charge of everything, he's on vacation, and I wasn't trying to bother him and be like, hey, Jonathan, can I take a couple extra bags to fill in the void space of my car? And on top of that, there's 0 void space in the car. We have to go pick up our kids from LRBs right now, and there's just enough room for them. That is it. So any other bags of soil and anything, it just wouldn't fit. But once Shelby's fish room's done, we might have some. I just got 2 weeks until I can even work on Shelby's fish room. I thought that we had 3 weeks between shows of Aquashella and the North Carolina show. But turns out there's only a weekend between it, and there's no time really to build a stand. So I'm just going to save that for after Sabu's show. We are not going to go to Nampa. It's just too far away in Oklahoma, and a lot of our friends that we were looking forward to seeing at Nampa went to the show. ALA, aka IBC, that is actually here in Florida this past weekend, hosted by our home club. Like, it's not our hometown club, but it is the first aquarium club that we ever started going to. As soon as they announced the date, I called them and I was like, you gotta change it. It's the same weekend as Aquashella. And they're like, we're sorry, we already booked the venue, and they weren't able to change the date. So Aquashella, kind of our home show. It was a rough choice, but we went with Aquashella because of the shrimp contest. And Richard said, Grant, did all my shrimp arrive okay? Yes, we only had one DOA in the contest, and I can tell you it was not yours. How's it going, Danikin? Hope you're doing well, Kenny. All right. I think that is going to be it for the live stream, guys. It's just safer this way. We caught you guys all up.
Congratulations, Richard, on your win as well.
I'm sorry, Richard. Got third place in the Neo category.
Which is hard. There's 10 tanks. It's actually really difficult.
It is the biggest category. So, congratulations, Richard.
First time entering.
Proud of you.
Told you.
Yeah, we had a lot of first place people enter. So, I'm really happy that, you know, some of the people here watching, Thomas, Richard, that are in chat, at least that I saw in chat, you guys got to go home with an award. Tim got second or third place in Crystal Shrimp. Michelle Morgan took home a bunch of awards. If she's in here, like, congratulations. She's definitely in the lead right now for Breeder of the Year. That's hands down. So
Kevin Wynn entered for the first time and took home a first and a third place. The third place was blue balls. They're so hard because they change up so much. Looked really healthy. It's just they change so much color sometimes. It's like one of the hardest ones to win with.
Nathan said, yeah, good to see our fellow Floridians getting the podium. Yeah, it's nice to see us winning the Aquascape contest. You take me out of the equation. I know. I'm saying I was just talking about it. I just said take me out of the equation. There's a lot of talent in Florida, not just for aquascaping, but for shrimp keeping. And yeah, Florida is quickly becoming one of the bigger hubs for the hobby. So really nice to see the locals coming out on top. But that is going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching. Please check out our video that we just posted maybe like 4 or 5 days ago on the Aquashella aquarium. That video really came out nicely, and we are ordering all of the plants for the other aquarium now that we'll be home for a little bit to try and get that planted and cycled for when we get back. So thank you guys. Have a good night. See you next week.